Garbage Guru Reality TV News, brought to you by me, David Shabib, in Victoria, BC. You can reach me at 250-818-1992. I have a junk business here as well as a beautiful garden, and we are the home of uh, the garden party. And our very efficient and vocal gardener, Louis Lasowski. As well, we have another person that frequently comes here, David Arthur Johnston, who's a person who has not used money for 13 years, refuses to touch it, has no ID, has no possessions, and basically is a monk amongst men. And very interesting person. Look at his history on the web. David Arthur Johnston, Dodge, I call him sometimes, because we have so many Davids here, and Louis Lasowski of Occupation Apple Tree. You can find out all our information on the web, and you can see that I ran for mayor here in Victoria in the last election. Locally, where they have 13 municipalities, I ran on all 13 municipalities for mayor because I believe that we're just one. It's the same thing. The government of one area is the same as the government of the next area. This divided state and the amount of money they're getting to keep all these different mayors and bureaucracies employed is just outrageous waste. I think it's something like $800 million a year. These 13 municipalities are sucking out of the environment, and in order to get $800 million, well, you got to make $5 billion so that you got $800 million that you could pay in taxes and all the permits and all the parking tickets that they're giving us. Their revenue generating system is a corruption that is, I mean, it's just unbelievable. Like what they're doing for money. It's as my friend said, it would make a vulture puke. It's terrible. Money is just a false god of the reality of confusion that we have in our day. Anyway, I've started this attempt here, this reality uh, show, Garbage Guru, because I also want to show you that the waste that we're producing on a day-to-day basis in North America is phenomenal. The national average is 4 pounds per day per person. And in Victoria, where we have roughly 350, Greater Victoria, 350,000 people, and I'm only going to return, when I speak about Victoria, I'm talking about Greater Victoria. I'm not talking about the 13 divided municipalities and their petty bureaucracies. I'm talking about the whole area. We only need one government for basically the whole earth. And in that sense, it's got to be coming from the person, the individual who is free to respond to conditions, adaptation. That's the meaning of everything, is adaptation. You need to find out how to work with conditions as they are. If it's raining outside, well, you got to have rain gear if you're going to work outside. If you're looking at the natural way things are, then you also need the freedom to react to the natural conditions. That's common sense reality. We don't have that. We have this this state that we're in. It is insane. Mankind has been driven insane under all these different countries and all their different governments. They're all false. All these governments have to be abolished. The only government that is real is your own government. You have to teach people how to look after themselves, and for that you need competent people to, as examples. And I'm not the only one here. There's lots of people here. There's lots of people. I've talked to a guy today. He does edible gardens, landscaping. And I mean, just you hear it and you say, of course, edible gardens. I mean, that's what you want. You want to be able to eat your garden. Yeah, like we don't, and you have your landscape. It can be beautiful as this one is. Like I'm sure we have one of the nicest gardens in Victoria. It was built in a rock pile. This area here was dump trucks came in with dump loads of rocks, and they just dumped it on the ground. There was a stop work order on this property when I moved onto it 6 years ago, and Lewis moved here, and from the garbage we would get lots of compost and we'd get lots of materials that could be used to build gardens. And I mean, there's pictures on the web of the garden here, and basically that's what we did. I would collect stuff. Louis would get the compost, and he created the garden. Now we have a fantastic garden that is self-generating at this point, and it is a valid work that was done here, and it's an example. And if you're looking for what to do, then focus on necessities. Like what is necessary survival work. You may think you need money, but take a look at money. See how money is a false creation, and it is a false control. We need to stop using money. And so one way that I've done that here is we have the Garbage Guru Free Store. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't need to talk to me. You can just go there. It's an open shed, and the CRD won't allow me to do this. They forced me to take down any signs announcing that I had a free store. They said I was not able to operate a store because I didn't have a business license for it. And they brought all these regulations in. I mean, all kinds of harassment. Never stops. So I have to put a tarp up across it, and I do announce it. I just say, look, I mean, this is a matter of survival. We need to stop wasting our resources. And so I have this free store here, and lots of people come and use it. Lots of people have supplied their whole houses from that free store. And were I able to do it freely, openly, it could be 10,000 times better, and all over the world. We have an abundant earth. There's lots here. We were given an incredible creation, an incredible planet. It's beautiful, and we're trashing it. We're treating it like the worst imaginable. Like we're destroying it with toxins. The air is polluted. The water. We got radiation. We're going to have to clean this mess up. Now I'm starting here with this reality show. I can take this camera. I can go anywhere. I can have a telephone. Anybody can call me. I've got internet. You can email me. Shebibd, SHEBIBD @yahoo.ca. You want to ask me something? You want to talk about my life? I'd like to talk about my life sometimes. I understand my life. I'm 72 years old right now. I've got quite a history. I remember I know how I got to be me. I remember that I've seen the troubles that I've gone through. I know how I'm trying to balance even today. I know the troubles that I hear that come to me from people trying to deal and are stressed out by what we're going through. I see the traffic building. I see the mentality, what I say the battleground that is happening in America with the Republican Democratic politics and two leaders which nobody wants. And I see what they're doing, and the media manipulation and the monetary grubbing for the funds for that media substance for their control. We don't need money to have a media center. Like I got one here. It's got a computer, a little camera, and right now we have a reality TV show. Yeah, maybe not have any audience, but who cares? I got myself to look at, and at least I know I'm working on doing something, and I do see some answers. I see some answers in just the waste, in the amount of waste that we get. Like, and my answer being partially this free store. You got something, give it away that you don't need, get rid of it. Find somebody that can use it and give it to them, especially if it's a tool, and help them see that no one owns the land. Who created the land owns it. And we have to abolish this consciousness of ownership for thinking that there's something sustainable in that. It's not. It's a manipulation. It's a real estate development. And they've overpopulated the earth, or they're abusing it through over consuming it. We got lots to talk about, people. Again, David Shabib, Garbage Guru, Reality, Net TV. Give me a call, 250-818-1992. You want to talk about something? You want to get together on something real? Then let's do that. And pay attention to these other two guys. David Arthur Johnston, man amongst men. Have a look at his past and see what he's doing. Incredible. And Louis Lasowski, Occupation Apple Tree. Thank you very much for now.